Hi guys, ForceConcentration here, and today I wanted to speak about what I have achieved in the last 2 months, yet another devlog. So you can see the result of following some RTS tutorials, going sideways a lot. Now there is this client architecture, client server architecture, and you can move a bunch of guys around. Nothing fancy. But again, those tutorials are for me to learn about the possibility of Unreal. So I had been following the tutorials by 2neurons up to 426. What happened is I had quite a few bugs. I think it's also due to the fact that I'm running 5x, and here 2neurons used 4.x version of UE. So yeah, I branch off here after unit movement. I went to this series of tutorials by Good Games with John, and actually I would say this is a very good series of tutorial. First of all, it's Unreal Engine 5, so it feels so great to finally have a tutorial in Unreal 5. And also, I mean, you get a lot of value for your time spent. You know, you have 8 minutes and you set up things in 20 minutes maximum. So really I recommend this tutorial. Unfortunately, the multiplayer setup here was probably with an early version of Unreal 5, and it's broken in 5.1 already, and the comments don't solve the problem. So yeah, it's a bit disappointing here. So what I've been doing in the last 2 months is already thinking a lot more about how to organize my game from an architecture point of view. Basically, it's an RTS, so you're ready to nail the architecture and then go down from that. Then it's just coding literally and just throwing a bunch of assets. So to do that, I spoke about it in a previous devlog. You need to use an entity component system, which is kind of some architecture often used in game devs and game devs only. And I discovered that Unreal has created a plugin with its own entity component system called the mass system. It's just called mass, which is always a bit confusing. And you have this example here by one of the Epic's global lead. Unfortunately, we don't have the source code of this thing. It's extremely disappointing not to have the source code of a working small project like that. And it's not really actionable. And it was already like more than a year ago, so maybe stuff have moved down already. We don't know. There is some people on GitHub who are trying to follow the evolution of the plugin. So the plugin we just talked about, and they made some demo here. I really need to check that out and see what's in it. And I also want to know what about networking, because it's good to have this special system where you don't use typical actors and component of Unreal Engine, but what about replication or, let's say, networking? And I also need to have a look at this thing, sequencer in Unreal 5. Why in Unreal 4? Why? Because I know that the guys who did Age of Darkness, I spoke about it in another devlog again, actually used the sequencer for doing some magic. And I would actually need something like that, I think. So I will go through that in a future stream on Twitch. And of course, it would be too easy if we only had two systems. Unreal has a third system, this time to say simulate large crowds, and it would be using Niagara. Yeah, again, what about the networking? Nobody talks about it. And what about giving us some project samples? That would be really great. We have nothing here. So this is the ECS system, ECS architecture that Unreal is proposing, but you also have some off-the-shelf libraries for doing entity components. The first library, I think by age, is Flex. It's a C or C++ library. And here some people has tried to mix that up with Unreal. So I will have to have a look at that too. And there is a competition. There is competition here for Flex. It's called NTT. And yeah, the project is very active too. And well, those two guys are in competition here. So here I don't have anything with Unreal, but I will check it out. If there is something called entity with Unreal, that would be great. Again, I believe that could be a problem to actually have an entity component system which is very far away from the replication network / networking system of Unreal, but we will have a look at that. So this is what has been going on, guys, and going towards the end of the year, the content of my channel, of my Twitch channel and so on, gonna get slightly more complicated, going into code and doing some more advanced stuff than just blueprints. And hopefully, yeah, we will get something going on. That was it for today, and guys, see you soon on Twitch. Bye.